Hey, Jane. Hi. You posted one question regarding your Set 1 Math, HCF, LCM, right? Wow, this question is not easy. Thus, me making a video just for you in order to hopefully you can better understand what the question is asking, and if it comes out in future, you will know exactly what to do. Alright, so how this video is going to structure is that I'm going to first teach you. Alright, this is a plus, plus looks like a T. I'll first teach you, alright, a question like yours, okay, but in a simpler manner. After teaching you, I want you to try to solve your own question that you ask, and eventually, alright, I want you to be able to test yourself to see whether if you can fully understand what is happening. Alright, this is the secret formula for learning. Alright, you need to be able to understand fully before you can really attempt and also in future teach your peers. Alright, and this is very important. Plus plus equal to plus. Alright, this one you need to know. How come in set 1, this one will be coming in very, very soon. Alright, let's go and take a look at your question. Alright, you talk about this. Given that the HCF, LCM given to you, alright, HCF is 36, LCM is 8820, and you only got one number, which is 1764. You don't know what is the other number. Oh no, what are you going to do? Your objective is to find P. Not so simple? Yes. Now I give you another question. If I give you something like that, hey, Che, easy, I know what to do. What are you going to do? You have two numbers, 140 and 300. So you use your prime factorization method to break these two numbers down. Come. So let me use my prime factorization method to break these two numbers down. Remember this? Alright. You're in Sec 1 and you started on this type of difficult question already. Wow, that's amazing. Alright. So I believe you know what is prime factorization. So 140, let's use the prime numbers to break it down. What are prime numbers? Prime numbers are numbers that can only be divisible by itself. Prime numbers only got two factors. Alright, examples of prime numbers, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. These are the first 5 prime numbers, very popular, must know. So 140 is a what? It's an even number. Let's use the only even prime number to break it down. 140 divided by 2, 70. 70 is still an even number, divided by 2, 35. 35 now is a what? Odd number, right? Can divide by 3. Sometime to check whether can divide by 3 or not. You take the two digit 3 and 5, you add them together. 3 plus 5 is a 8. 8 is not a multiple of 3. Means cannot divide by 3. It works. Later I show you. So 35 divided by what? Got 5. Then you divide by 5 next. So 35 divided by 5 is a 7. Your objective is to get to a 1, right? You know this? So 7 divided by 7. 7 itself is also another prime number to get to a 1. How do you present as a index notation? All these terms you need to understand. Index notation is what? You write 140 is equal to 2 to the power of 2 times 5 times 7. Alright, this is called an index notation. Can? Alright, so it's 2 squared, there are 2 2's, there's 1 5 and 1 7. Alright, so next one is your 300. What do we do? Once again, 300 is a what? It's an even number. Let's divide by 2 first. Be systematic in your way of doing. Alright, always go from 2 and slowly you increase. Alright, always have a system in mind that is very safe. 150 divided by 2, can? No problem. Alright, 150 divided by 2 is a 75. Now, 75, can divide by 2? Cannot. 5 is an odd number, so divide by 3 because that's the next prime number, right? Can divide by 3 or not? Check. You take the two digits and you add up. 7 plus 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 is a multiple of 3. Means what? Can divide by 3. Very confident. You write it down. Divide by 3. So 75 divided by 3, you work it out. Mental sum, 25. 25 can divide by 3? Cannot, right? 2 plus 5 is 7. 7 is not a multiple of 3. So how? Next number is a 5. Yes. 25 can divide by 5. To give you a 5, you want to reach an ultimate 1. So you divide by another 5. How do you write it as an index notation? You write as 300 is equal to 2 square times 3 times 5 square. Can you see that? Alright, there are 2 to the power of 2's, there's 1 3, and there's 2 5's. That's called index notation. Is that okay? So with this idea, you are able to go and find the HCF and LCM. So how do I present it? I present it in such a manner. All right, so 140 is 2 squared times 5 times 7. All right, 300 is 2 squared times 3 times 5 squared. Hey, why do I put the 1 and the 1 down here? All right, when you do this HCF LCM, right, there's this method called the what? Highest take the lowest, lowest take the highest. If the same, just take 1. All right, if you're using this method, right, what do? You need to arrange them in such a way that you are comparing them neatly. Base 2 must compare with base 2. Base 5 must compare with base 5. Can you see not? You cannot compare 3 and a 5. Not fair. You cannot compare 5 squared with a 7. Not fair. So how? You write 2, you must compare with 2. Down here, if there's a 3, what do? You cannot put a 0 here. If you put a 0 here, the whole thing will become a 0. That's not what you want. So how? You put a 1. Anything times 1 is still anything. It's very safe. 5 squared, you compare with 5. 7, you compare with 1 also. That is very, very clear. Can you see? So whenever you got a pair that something is missing, you just got to put a 1 down there. Can? For instance, down here you got another maybe times what? Times 11. Down here don't have. So you put times 1 lor. Can you see not? So when there is a missing blank, just put a 1 down there. Don't put a 0. So using this method, highest take the lowest means what? Highest common factor, you must take the lowest. So you must do a comparison. 2 squared and 2 squared. Hey, who is the lowest? Nobody is the lowest, right? Look at this. If the same, just take 1 set. All right. This and this, they are the same, right? Just take 1 set. So HCF is a 2 squared. Not over yet, not over yet. Times what? Highest take the lowest. Now you compare 1 and 3. Who is the lowest? 1 and 3. Duh. 1 is lowest, right? Put a 1 here. Next, 5 and 5 squared. Who is the lowest? 5, right? So you put 5 here. All right. Lowest means the smallest lah, huh? 7 and 1. Who is the lowest? 1. You see? So at least you have something to put down here. If you compare 7 and 1, 1 is the lowest, right? There's something to compare against. All right. That will be your HCF. Here, lowest common multiple. What do you think? Lowest take the highest. So down here, 2 squared and 2 squared. Hey, the same one. Then how? If the same, just take 1. So down here, your LCM start off with 2 squared. Times what? Lowest take the highest. 1 and 3, you make a fair comparison. 3 is larger than 1, so you take 3. Next, 5 and 5 squared. Who is the one that is highest? Who is the one that is biggest? 5 and 5 squared is 5 squared. And lastly, 7 and 1, 7. Can you see? So once again, all these are written in index notation. If your teacher used the word evaluate, evaluate means you have to get to the answer. What must you do? You must use your calculator to work it out. What is 2 squared times 1 times 5 times 1? 2 times 2 times 1 times 5 times 1 will give you a 20. So the HCF is 20. It really depends on the question how they ask. If they just say, hey, find the HCF. HCF, 20. Write your HCF in index notation. Then you must write as what? 2 squared times 5. The 1 and the 1 don't write. Alright? LCM, what's the LCM? LCM is 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 times 5 times 7. Answer is 2,100. Can you see? Why am I showing you this question? Alright, because the question that you asked me is a backwards. I'm showing you the forward. Mathematics only got 2 directions, going forward and going backwards. This is the going forward. Alright, I give you 2 numbers. I work out their index notation, alright, their prime factors, and eventually I can find the HCF and LCM. Alright, this portion is called index notation. It's just a form of writing in terms of index. Index means power. Sometimes your teacher might say as a product of prime factor. Alright, so these 2 phrases, you must know that, must write like that. Alright, with the power on top one. Can? So now with this basic idea, now if the question twists a little bit, they ask from a backward manner like this. Isn't it something like a question? Given that HCF and LCM of 140 and a number Q, they are 20 and 2,100 respectively. Means that the HCF is 20, the LCM is 2,100. You are supposed to find the value of Q. Very familiar? Yes. What do you see? 20 and 2001. Sure. Very familiar. Ne? 20 and 2001. Can you see? And the number is 140, right? So you know the answer for Q is 300 lah. Can you see? So now the question twists a little bit. They give you what? They give you this information. They give you 140, they give you 20, they give you 2100. You have to find this answer here. Can you see? So in a way, it's asking from a backward direction. Okay, so how? Yes lah, answer is Q, but how do you get answer 300? Alright, so let's go take a look. So now, the HCF and LCM, right? Just now I asked you, what is the HCF and LCM, right? So you managed to write them out, right? But now we reverse, we are supposed to actually find this blank here, right? Okay, so how to find this blank here? So with the 20, right? 20 down here, the 2100, what must you do first? You got these two numbers, you have to break it down using your prime factorization also. You are supposed to use your 140 and break it down into your product of prime factors too. So all this must be broken down. So you got three numbers, right? All three must break down, all right? And express them in terms of index notation. Here, HCF is 20. 20 is made out of what? 20 is actually 2 times 2 times 5, right? Okay, come. So 2 times 2, I write 2 squared here. Times 5, right? Down here, right, can you see? Got blanks, right? So I will try to put them in ascending what? Ascending prime numbers. So it's 2, 3, 5, 7. But is there a 3 here? Don't have. Because 20 is 2 times 2 times 5, right? So down here, 2 squared times 5. Is it 20? Yes. 2 squared times 5 is 20. 4 times 5 is 20, what? Down here got blanks. Do what? Later we put 1 down there. Can? Alright. But 2100, oh no. 2100, I need to break down what? Break it down using what? This method of prime factorization. Alright, so how? Remember your prime numbers? 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. Alright, 2001 is an even number, so you divide by 2 first. So 2100 divided by 2 will give you a 1050. 1050 is still an even number, divide by 2. Okay, then what do you have? 525. 525 is no longer an even number, but can divide by 3? Let's try. 5 plus 2, 7. 7 plus 5, 12. 12 is a multiple of 3, means can divide by 3. 175. Can you see? So all these tricks, right, is to assist you to do things a little bit faster. 175, 1 plus 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No, 13 is not a multiple of 3, so cannot divide by 3. Let's go and divide by 5. That's the next prime number. And you should get a 35. 35 divide by 5 again to give you a 7. And you want to get to a 1, right? Here is a 1. Divide by another 7. So how do you present this as index notation or product of prime factors? 2 squared times 3 times 5 squared times 7. So we have 2 squared times 3 times 5 squared times 7. Usually I will do a quick check. I will just multiply to see whether I get 2100 or not, because you don't want to be making careless mistakes here. So 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 times 5 times 7, 2100 is correct. So what do you do now? Down here got empty slots, right? Just put in the 1. Alright, now I want you to reverse the method. Alright, you have to reverse the method to find your what? To find your answers down here. Alright, so for instance here, the highest common factor is a what? It's a 2 squared. Remember, highest must take the lowest. The lowest is a 2 squared. So if this one is already given, this one is fixed. This is given by the question, it's already fixed. You cannot change this. You cannot change this. You cannot change this. But you can only change this particular line here. So highest take the lowest. Lowest is what? Down here, oh, lowest is a 2 squared. So this one, the lowest is a 2 squared. Is it? Oh, so this one must be a what? This one can be a 2 cube lah. Can or not? Can this be a 2 cube? If you put a 2 cube down here, what happened? Alright, okay what? Highest take the lowest. So you make a comparison. Lowest is what? 2 squared. Correct. Alright, but if you look at the LCM, lowest take the highest. This one, this line is fixed. You cannot change this. So lowest common multiple, you're supposed to take the highest. If you take the highest, you'll be taking what? 2 cube. But down here is 2 squared. You cannot change that. So how? This one got problem. Can you see or not? So you have to erase this away. You cannot put it as 2 cube. What can you put it as? You can put it as 2 square. The same. Don't believe? Let's try. Highest common factor. Highest take the lowest. Who is the lowest? They are the same one. If they are the same, just take 1. Correct. Lowest common multiple. You are supposed to take the highest. Highest. They are the same one. They are the same. Just take 1. So, okay. So this part, balanced already. Nice. Next, we move on. Highest common factor. Highest take the lowest. Alright. Down here, you took 1. You took 1. So this is a 1. This one can be a 1 not? Possible, right? Alright, this one can be a 1. It's possible. Alright, so if you want, you put a 1 down here first. Can? So if they are the same one, if they are the same, you take 1 one. Okay one. But lowest common multiple, LCM, you are supposed to take the highest. Huh? If you are supposed to take the highest 1 and 1, they are of equal rank. So cannot be. This one cannot be a 1. Cannot be. I don't believe. Can it be a 3? Let's put a 3 down there. So now you check. Highest common factor, you take the lowest. 1 and 3, you take 1. Correct. Lowest common multiple, you take the highest. 1 and 3, you take 3. Correct. Fair. Everything balanced. That's very important. Now, what you have? 5. Okay. Highest common factor, you're supposed to take the lowest. So this is 5. This is what? It cannot be 1. Right? Because 5 is like the lowest already. So this one might be what? 5 squared. Or maybe what? 5 cubed lah. Can? Or 5 to the power of 5 lah. Right? Because if you're supposed to take the highest common factor, you're supposed to take the lowest, you still accept this 5, which is here what? But now you check with the LCM. Lowest supposed to take the highest. Highest is a what? 5 and 5 cubed, right? 5 cubed lah. But down here is a 5 squared. This one cannot change. This one can change. So okay, don't want cube already. So change to what? Change to square. Is that okay? So you are supposed to juggle and balance out everything. That's all. Check again. Highest take the lowest. Correct. Lowest take the highest. Correct. The next one, what do you think? Put what? Put a 1, is it? Let's try. Alright. Highest take the lowest. 7 and 1, you take 1. Okay. Lowest take the highest. 7 and 1, you take 7. Okay. Can you see it? You must understand that this, they are fixed. You cannot change it because it's part of the question. What can you change? You can change this. So that's the only thing you can adjust. So what's the answer? 2 squared times 3 times 5 squared times 1. Press your calculator. 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 times 5 times 1. Answer? 300. Isn't that the answer? Yeah. So your question, alright, is asking from a backwards up. Alright, now I teach you already. I teach you the forward method and I also use the same number and teach you how to get to the 300. Hopefully, the next portion, you are able to try your own question. Alright, this is your question. The answer is already given to you. It's already given to you in that line I gave you in the comment. Yes. So the answer is already given to you, but I never give you the working. Why? Because I want you to understand the teaching first. Once you can understand the teaching, you are able to attempt your own question. Try. You need to give it a shot. Try it out. Alright? Let me give you a little clue. Let me give you a head start first. You're supposed to find the value of P. Yes. Use your prime factorization method to break down 1764 into index notation or a product of prime factors first. So I broke it down for you already. Next, you're supposed to break down your number 36 and your number 8820 in terms of product of prime factors. Then you use the what? Highest take the lowest, lowest take the highest. If the same, just take 1. Alright, and you balance up to find your P. And your P will be the answer I gave you in your comment. Is that okay? Alright, try. And this is the working that you can show your teacher. Is that okay? After trying, alright, I taught you already. You tried already. You fully understand. Now is your time to go and test yourself with another question. Go and find this answer for me. Test yourself. With 3 questions, come on, I think you can do it. You are a very smart person, I know. Alright, I can see that one. Alright, so can see. Alright, so please continue to give this question a shot. Answer the question using that method. Alright, then after that, input your answer back to me. Alright, you can find a comment and just type in the answer and I will tell you whether are you correct or not. Okay, just type the answer will do. Okay, alright, Janing, continue to work hard in your Sec 1. It's a very crucial year for you. Right? If you're asking me this type of question, means that you have already studied a little bit regarding your prime factorization. Alright, that is very good. This question is really not easy. Alright, for a Sec 1 to ask me this question, wow, you are like the number 1. So continue to put in effort, don't give up. Keep trying your best in attempting a question using the plus equal to plus. Alright, first you must have somebody to teach you lah. So in school, let your teacher teach you. then how? You must keep trying your best to answer your questions. All right, and eventually test yourself to see whether you fully understand what's happening or not. Cool? All right, and that's it. That's it from me. My name is Bern, and I hope to answer more of your questions in future. See you.